Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we is what you're wondering. Well, we're dropping down through the area known as Anavargos. That's where we actually are. And we're going to join the Anavargos roundabout shortly. And we're going to filter towards the left. And that's going to then take us past the, well, what's going to take us past? The Electricity Authority of Cyprus, the main office in Paphos. And then we're going to join the Limassol roundabout. And then we're going to take the second exit off that roundabout and go straight up the Limassol bypass. Why are we going up the Limassol bypass? Lady oh so sweet Caroline knows where we're going. Yep, we're off to the workshop. That's where we're going. So get your jumper onto that memory foam cushion. Poor Nigel and Nigel big guns, and of course sit back and enjoy the ride. So here we go. Now, who else is on those sofas? Let's have a quick look around. Mr. Doug, he's become a star at the moment because he's looking for people to give him ideas because he wants to write a murder mystery novel. And he wants to base it in Cyprus and he wants to base it in Paphos. And his new idea is about a groom and a wife-to-be, and the groom gets murdered. Now, I hope he's not basing this on fact. I hope it's not based on Mr. Paul marrying Marika. Well, misogyny receiving out of booth. I hope it's not based on that, and I hope he's not planning on running off with all of my money, because Mr. Doug, I haven't got any. So if I was you, I would rewrite that book. I wouldn't listen to Mr. B. Yes, Mr. B, you heard your name. I wouldn't listen to his ideas. I think he wants to get rid of Mr. Paul. But of course, if he got rid of Mr. Paul, there wouldn't be any driving videos, you know that. And I understand that many people would think that's a brilliant idea. Anyway, where are we? Well, we just come past the Anavargos roundabout. You've got the Alexander College here on our left-hand side, as you can see. And then at the next set of traffic lights down here, there will be a big, dark, grey, mysterious building on our left. And that's the ultra-modern, ultra-futuristic, absolute work of a monstrosity of art known as the Downtown Electricity Authority Office. And it's coming up just here. As you can see, this grey thing, dreary looking thing. But of course it is a dreary day if you have to go in there to either complain and get told to off, or of course if you have to pop in there and pay your electricity bill. Because I've been paying my electricity bill in Cyprus for the last 15 years now, and every time I go in to pay, because you know I'm not online, I offer them the money and all I get is a grunt. I get a grunt as I give them the money, and I get a grunt as they chuck me back the receipt. And apparently it's a very familiar thing in Cyprus. Anyway, that's the rant over. Where are we now? We're queuing at the downtown Limassol roundabout. So at this roundabout, if you take the first exit, you would go up towards Armu, you'd go up towards Konya Village, you'd go up towards Memphis Hills, that luxury resort at the top there, golf resort. If you go on the second exit, which we're going to do, you're going to go off along the Limassol bypass. And if you take the third exit, you'd go down towards McDonald's. Yes, Miss Andrea, that's where you'd go. And eventually end up in downtown Cato Paphos and Paradise. And of course, if you went all the way around it, you'd be coming back parallel and you'd be going back into Anavargos. So there you go. If ever you get to that roundabout, you'll now know exactly which exit to take. And as you can see, we're in rush hour traffic. We are indeed. It's what, 8:45, and well, what can you say? Gridlock in downtown Paphos. Like I say, we're off to the workshop. So I understand that Lady so sweet Caroline is getting excited, and probably Mr. Andrew, yes, and maybe his shotgun riding Miss Nessie sitting next to him. Perhaps he's getting excited because he's a bit of a car nutter, and maybe the man they're hunting down in the Shropshire lanes, Mr. Andy, and of course his partner in crime, my JJ Tonic, Miss Justine. Perhaps they're getting excited because they like to get down and dirty in the workshop as well. Now, come on Vivian, the crew is growing. So I know you thought you got a cushy job and you thought you get to sit down and relax and drink your tea and have time to make cupcakes. No, it's a busy sofa. It's a busy breakfast crew. Marika's doing English even when she's not with me. So come on, run round. Mr. Allen, come on, plug the machine in, let's ramp it up. We're going uphill, but after that we'll be going downhill. So let's get 4 or 5 miles an hour. Let's get you absolutely as fit as a Larry for when you come down to the Paphos Harbour area, because we're going to take you rock walking, rock climbing. Did you hear me? Yes. Yous are going to be climbing over the big boulders and going out to look at the views across the blue Mediterranean Sea, that's for sure. Joe Cox, have you brought Julie? Yes, he's sitting there. Wonderful. Mr. Roger, yes, he's got Anne sitting on his lap. Come on, Vivian, come on, more tea. Who else is in town? Let's have a quick look. Paul Roberts, yes. Has he got Nicole? Yes. She's sitting on his lap and she's thinking, are we in Crete? No, we're not in Crete. We're in downtown Paphos. But don't worry, I promise you, stick with us for a couple of years and we'll get enough benzene together and we'll swim over to Crete, hire a really fast car, and I'll race round and I'll beat that Cretian driver. I think that's how you say it, isn't it? Cretian. Because I had a friend over here, he's gone back to Crete now, by the way, but he was from Crete and he said, call me a Cretian. So I called him a Cretian. It sounds like something out of a Star Trek movie, but he was something like a Star Trek. He was a monster. He was about 6'4". He was a monster of a man, but a really nice guy indeed. He really was. But he's gone back to Crete. Well, that's the last I heard of it anyway. I think he owed the Bank of Cyprus some money, so he was running like crazy, shall we say. So where are we? Limassol bypass, that's where we are. And as you can see, the traffic has, well, subsided, should we say. Because why they built this motorway, I don't know, because you never get much traffic on it, which obviously is a good thing. Especially if you want to go to Nicosia and look at some old clapped out E-classes and S-classes, because yes, we are still looking for that perfect car. We want it to be a good car to start with, if you understand. I'm not really too bothered about the money. Well, I am, but you know what I mean. Around about 10,000 euros or so, we should be able to get a good one. And then, of course, Marios, the mechanic, can have a little nosy on down the engine and put whatever's right. And of course, if there's a nick and a mark and a bit of rust here and there, well, we can sort it out ourselves. But I do want to get a good one. I want a nice one. I want it to look nice. And the one we're looking at the moment, if you're wondering, some people in the comments got it right. Yes, it's blue. It's like a sky blue on the outside. Not my first choice of colour, but it's not a bad colour. And then the inside is dark blue, which of course is my favourite colour, like a navy blue. Lovely, absolutely spectacular. Anyway, if we buy it, it will be appearing on the channel soon. Now, on that note, obviously we need funding from somewhere, and YouTube doesn't give us very much, if you're curious to know. So obviously you can click through to our About page, and there is the Buy Me a Coffee icon, and we promise to convert that little bit of money into coffee in the mornings to wake us up, and of course into liquid benzene as the day goes on, and parts and insurance and all those kind of things that allows us to keep moseying on down in and around the Paphos area. Anyway, back to the breakfast sofa. Who's on that sofa today? Let's have a look. Sally Briers. Morning, Sally. Are you there? And she's got Matt Dyers sitting on her lap, and she's saying, come on, have a look at this. When we're getting married, when we're going back out to Paphos, you twist his arm, because she's twisting his arm to get him to buy a new sofa at the moment, and then she's trying to persuade him to dig deep in his pockets and get out to Paphos, because Paphos, that's where it's at. If you want a great holiday in the summer, it's the best place for you to come, that's for sure. Now we're going to exit the bypass, and we're going to head out into the body shop, and we're going to have a little bit of walk down. So stick with us for a bit, and you never know, we might see what disasters have been going on. And I've got a surprise there as well to show to, well, Mr. Andrew from all the way up in Shropshire, with his good barrow in crime, Miss Nessie, who rides shotgun. I've got a little surprise in the workshop, and it's something that's, well, hopefully it's going to tickle you. So we're going to go and have a look at that as well. You're sitting there thinking, what the hell is it? What's it got, a Ranger? No, it's not a Ranger, it's something else. And it's not in a very good state, shall we say, but you never know, one day it might be. So let's go and have a look at it. Let's go and see what is going on. So we're entering the compound, and we'll go and see what troubles are in store for us today, Because as you understand, if you're in business, every single day there's always troubles in store. There's a bill come, or a paint doesn't match, or they've sent the wrong parts, whatever it is. All this kind of stuff is going on. Now, forgive the roads, because it's like a dirt track, as you can see. Now, I'll have a look on the sofa to see just who else is there. I think Mr. B is there. He's the one that comes along and whispers into the ears of Mr. Doug. Yeah, Mr. B, you heard your name. So he has a whisper in the ears, and he says what's going on. So let's go and have a look, and let's actually see what is going on in downtown Paphos. So stick with us, and Mr. Paul's going to take you for a look around at what is going on. But before we do, I want to show you this. So if you're watching, Mr. Andrew Alimera, there we go, there's the boss himself. If you're watching, have a look at this. Look at that. So we have acquired this, and I understand that, well, it's not looking very good at the moment, shall we say. But for those of you who understand what it is, that is a Mercedes 126 from a bygone area. And of course, it's in a bit of a mess, as you can see. But you never know, one day it could work out to be nice. Now, wait for this. Oh, sorry, not enough. But listen to the noise. Listen to that. Wow. Now that's the noise of a bank bolt. And there's something very, very special when you sit in these cars. There's something unbelievable as you look out across that bonnet. And it's special, and it's something that takes me back to my youth. There's something about these chairs. So we've acquired this one, yeah, and well, we've acquired this one for literally bugger all, if you understand me. And we understand it's going to cost us thousands to do it, but that's the plan. So we're going to do that one up, but we're on the lookout to buy one that is already ready to go, shall we say. Right, let's go and have a little wiggle and waggle and see what's going on. There's a car over there that's ready to go. So this one we brought in the other day, this Volkswagen Eros. And again, if someone's looking to buy a car, by the way, this car is for sale. And to be honest, it's a very, very nice car indeed. For those of you who know what it is, it's a hard top convertible, so that roof folds into the boot and then it's a full convertible. And it's an immaculate car. But we've locked it up wisely. We put it out here last night. And what have we done? Well, there was a little scuff on the front there, and there's a few little bits across the bottom. And when it's done, it'll be perfect. And then this is the car that came in, Mr. Roy, Miss Tatiana, if you're watching. Do you recognise that car? Yes, that's Roy's Rover. There we are. And this is a car that's a beautiful car, by the way. And it's a Rover 75. And there's a bit of a story behind this car. This car belonged to a gentleman who was a customer of ours. And then Mr. Roy, who you've just heard me talking about, he used to work for Rover in the 50s, okay? And he did his apprenticeship in the 50s. And that's when Rovers were built pretty good, should we say. I mean, Rover doesn't exist anymore, as we know. But that's when they were pretty good. And he was part of a team, and he showed him all the pictures. And there's a place in his heart for Rovers. So he likes his Rovers. Oh dear. The rubbish man is here again. That's the rubbish man. See that down the bottom there? That's the big lorry. And he's a really, really good guy, and he comes out and he collects all our rubbish, and we get to chuck all sorts of things. We might even chuck your Rover into it, because, no, nothing wrong with your Rover. It's a perfect Rover. Let's have a look. Boss himself on the phone. Kalimera. He's busy. Ahlan wa sahlan is what you say. Right? So we've got Abdullah. That was the one with the greatest smile in the world. And Ibrahim. Got a great smile as well, by the way. And they work very, very hard. I want you to understand that. We open up most days at around about 7:30ish, except on a Sunday. They have a bit of a lie-in. And often we can be here until very, very late in the evening, that's for sure. Now, I'm not going to take you in there, but if you look through the dirty windows, you can see that there is a man in there over to the right-hand side, and that car is getting maxed up, it's going to be painted. So obviously dust is an issue, so we don't want to go in there. Let's pop out the back and have a quick look and see what's going on. Anyway, I was telling you about Roy with his Rovers, wasn't I? So he did his apprenticeship, and he worked there for about 7 years after that. Then he went off and did all sorts of other things, and he made himself millions, and he ended up as a multi-millionaire. And anyway, the point of it is, he always had a Rover in his life. And he had a Rover 75, which unfortunately was involved in a car accident. And he phoned me up and he said, hey, Paul, I need to buy a Rover. Not easy to buy one in Cyprus. Have you got a man who's got one that wants to sell it? As it happened, I had a man who had that one, which was immaculate. And it was his pride and joy. I phoned him up and we agreed a price, and Roy got his Rover. Because till the day Roy dies, and I hope he lives a long, long life, he will always have a Rover in his life. So there we go. What's out here? Let's have a look. Well, someone has bought an Alfa Romeo. I mean, there are a few people who do buy them, because most people understand that's actually a Fiat. But if you understand what this is here, that means to us, in plain simple English, well, that this is a write-off from the UK that's been bought and then brought in. And then, slowly but surely, it has been fixed up. And of course, it will be sold to some unsuspecting soul in downtown Cyprus, that's for sure. Bit of a scrapyard out here, as you can see. Some of the cars, well, they're just kept for parts, should we say. This is quite a popular car in Cyprus, with, well, certain clientele, should we say. So this one we've acquired for chump change, about 140 euros I think we paid for it. And slowly but surely we'll break it up for parts. That's what's going to happen. That Mercedes is having its bumper done. That one's having its bumper done. And this one is a car we featured the other day, isn't it? Which has been squeezed in here, but if you remember, there was damage down to the lower part, so that's all done. There's Marios there. You all right? Good. Are you cold? He's a bit cold. There we are. Are you cold in that? Ah, right, get it off. There we are. So this is one of the stars. He comes down and helps us quite often. He really is a really, really good guy, and he'll do anything for anybody, by the way. And if ever you're in a coffee shop and he spots you, if he knows you, he always wants to buy you coffee, and it's very, very difficult to refuse him. And basically, what is he? He's a handyman, but he comes here and he helps out us as friends, and he is a star amongst ours, really, really is. So that's the shop, and as you can see, the exciting part is going on now. They are now chucking the rubbish away. And you may remember this car. Remember this car? Well, this is the car where the bonnet went up and smashed all the windscreen and damaged the roof. And as you can see, the bonnet is now looking very, very nice. It has a brand new windscreen, and the roof is looking very nice, all courtesy of that man down there. And of course, that man, the boss himself. There he is. Always grumpy. Very, very grumpy today. Mr. Hassan looking very, very grumpy. And there we are. Shishka boy number 1 is emptying his bin. You all right? Good. Calimera. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe. Why not come back for a little bit more of our complete and utter madness. Going to leave you with a spectacular view of a blue sky as the bin lorry takes our rubbish away. Have a look at that. And there you go. You can chuck whatever you want in the back of there, even bodies, Mr. Doug. Thanks for watching.